The Trump administration has announced a new crackdown on immigrant families crossing the border, and in doing so, they're showing a willingness to prosecute and even separate families that we have rarely seen in recent history. So up until right now, crossing the border illegally is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 6 months in jail. But previous to Trump, the Justice Department rarely targeted family units for prosecution. Instead, authorities typically routed migrant families to immigration courts, and they were often released from detention after 3 weeks because of a court order limiting how long undocumented children may remain locked up. People with credible fear of being returned to their native countries were likewise often sent to immigration court instead of being criminally prosecuted. So in theory, they could have been locked up, but it was not typically the case that it would happen, especially in certain areas. Now, though, they're changing that, and Jeff Sessions announced a willingness to separate these families that he acknowledges and is not worried about. He said, "People are not going to caravan or otherwise stampede our border. We don't want to separate families, but we don't want families to come to the border illegally." So I guess it's one of those sentences that the stuff before the but really doesn't mean anything after you get done with the sentence entirely. And this is already happening, by the way. On April 27th, Border Patrol officers picked up a 30-year-old Salvadoran woman, Maria Mendoza Romaldo, with one of her children after she crossed into the US near San Diego. She fled El Salvador because of sexual violence, according to court filings. She clearly told Border Patrol that she was afraid to return there. An arrest narrative filed in court has credible fear claim written on it, which is exactly, as we laid out to you, the sort of thing that would have protected her family from being separated from each other. However, now it will not. And in particular in San Diego, they did not target families like this. And that is apparently not the case previously, but now they're going to be doing that.
So they're wasting a tremendous amount of taxpayer money on people who are not dangerous. They might lock them up for up to 6 months. Now the problem is you got to let the kids go in 3 weeks. That's, by the way, not a problem. Okay, it was previously not a problem until the Trump administration goes, well, I'd like to lock up their family members for longer, even though what they're doing is at best a misdemeanor by crossing the border, trying to get, in some of them in cases, actually trying to seek asylum. They're like, yeah, but you didn't go to the right port of entry while trying to seek asylum, so I'm gonna imprison you for 6 months and then take your kids away because I gotta release them after 3 weeks. So God knows where your kids are gonna go and how long we're gonna keep you in prison. And by the way, sometimes they say they're gonna keep them in prison for a short period of time and then keep them in those detention centers for years on end. So that's a whole nother issue to add on top of that. But Jeff Sessions says, well, there's nothing we could do about it. No, you could do what other administrations did. You have a whole set of choices. No, you are choosing to break those families apart. You're choosing to be draconian and waste a tremendous amount of our resources fighting people who are not dangerous, thereby, by the way, also not spending resources on people who are dangerous.
Exactly. Although to be fair, this is one of the areas where they were very clear about what they would do. I know some people want to believe that it's all the same across administrations, but someone like Trump gets in, he puts people like Jeff Sessions there. He knows that his base wants him to be cracking down on these people, and so he's going to do it. And they're finding all sorts of ways to do that while wasting tons of money along the way.
Well, so I'll make a final point on that. Immigration prosecutions have now taken up about half of the federal criminal docket since 2008. So Bush changed the procedure there. And so all of a sudden, instead of going after violent criminals, the federal docket is filled to the rim with people crossing the border. But Obama did not change that policy, and he continued that policy. Now Trump comes in and puts it on steroids. So now we're gonna waste even more money. I mean, we were already wasting a ton of money under Bush and Obama to prosecute people who'd cross the border. And by the way, what did our ancestors do? Well, maybe I'm exempt because we came over legally and we had papers, we had documents. I'm sure the Republicans are celebrating my family, right? But if you were here in America earlier, did you come over with papers? Did your family come over with papers? Did the Pilgrims have papers? I don't think so. And then what did they do? They came in with disease and criminality and murdered the people who were here. So with my family excluded, the rest of you did not come in with papers and et cetera, et cetera. So
I think my family came in legally, actually.
Yeah, is that right?
From Italy, I'm pretty sure they did.
Of course I'm kidding and exaggerating. There's many families here legally, right? But so now, instead of having half of our federal dollars for prosecution going towards that waste of money, which could have applied to almost all of us. We're now having even more resources wasted in that direction. But the one part I will agree with John on 100% is this is what you voted for. So it's not like he didn't say that he was going to go after people crossing the border. He did say that. It's not like he didn't say that he was going to be vicious. He said on multiple occasions, he boldly announced his plans for being vicious. So this is what you got. A vicious guy who's going to waste our taxpayer dollars and try to crush families, in some cases escaping from oppression, and then split their families apart. Remember what he said about bombing people in the Middle East? He said, well, they're terrorists. By the way, a lot of the people we killed in the Middle East during Trump administration were not terrorists, they were civilians. But he said, let's kill their family members. Are you surprised that he's going after people's family? He said during the campaign he would murder the family members of people he considered terrorists in the Middle East. And he said he would go after the people crossing the border in draconian ways. I guess mission accomplished. Congratulations, America. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.